Hi there. Welcome to Thomas. We've got a surprise, a guest presenter here today. So going with me is Thomas. But now it's 6:05, so let's have a go at it and see where we go. Me and Thomas, we thought we'd have a nice discussion about CRM and how you build a good CRM in Monday. So for today, we are going to focus on a standard CRM package. So this is not the masterclass. That's a completely different webinar. It's actually a coming series, I think, somewhere. My marketing division have it planned somewhere. Don't know when it's coming up, but we'll keep you posted on that one. Now we're focusing on a standard CRM and how we can do that, but with a few really good nifty features. So, Deb, I know you're a true Monday power user, but maybe you should stick on to then, because I think we can show you some new things as well. So, my name is Fredrik E. Kastenholm. Several of you know me already, and not on the screen, but with me here today, I have Thomas M. Carlson, my co-partner and the CEO of Omnitas Consulting.
Hey guys.
There we go. A bit about ourselves. We come from different walks of life, but we've known each other for ages. I have a background in finance and the consulting industry, and mostly sales and marketing within those segments. Thomas, care to give us a word on your background?
So I'm actually Swedish Armed Forces HR director, and then CEO of a consultancy firm, and then Monday girl.
Yeah, so there we go.
Logical transitions.
Very. You can't go wrong with weapon consultants Monday. There's a red line there. I can see it. So the agenda for today, we are already in the first bullet point here. So this is the intro. Then we're going to talk a bit before you start building a CRM system. I think this is where we can have a rather nice discussion between me and Thomas and see what our thoughts on this is. Then we're going to check out the live demo, check in a few features, see how we actually can do to build a fairly complete CRM system. And then we're going to summarize, and then we go for questions and answers towards the end. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat section, and we'll get to them either if you manage to put them right where they should be answered. Otherwise, we'll promise to bring them up in the question and answer section.
Before we move on, I don't have a problem sitting still. I'm feeding the baby. So
little Freya is with us again. Yes.
What is the webinar again?
Yeah, she's becoming like a standing feature in our webinars list, and that's lovely. We love it. Because we at Omnitas, we are a tight-knit team. We are family. And that it includes our children as well. So before you start building your CRM, I usually say, back up a bit. Don't just dive headfirst into it. Have a think about it. And one of the things I usually say you should think about is, what other teams are you working with? What other teams will utilize the information? Because the CRM system, that's not a system for the sales department alone. It's a system for the company. It will gather all your client information, all your contact information, all your activities, and basically whatever you let it handle. This means that it will be a very good system for your marketing team. It will be a must, more or less, for your support team. So they know what you have promised someone or delivered to someone or whatever. It's a fair good assessment to say that your delivery team, either if you deliver products or if you deliver services, and maybe you're a consultancy firm, which I'm looking at the list of the participants right now, and I know that quite a few of you are. So then you deliver consultancy hours and you deliver projects. There should probably be a handover between the sales department and the delivery team at some point, and to have everyone in the same information so there can be a seamless handover is very important.
Not only handover, but also insight, so we can keep following from a sales perspective that what is actually our delivery organization or consultancy organization doing with the deals we sold, and also what does the queue look like, how much work is there, and when can actually push the client for a signature based on what's already committed.
And when is it time to upsell, and what is the sales department doing with the leads delivered by the marketing team? So the CRM is your chance to have your place of one truth, where we share the worldview that we have. Because it's very common for us as consultants to come out to a company and you all ask the marketing team, how's it going? Oh, very well. We're delivering this and doing that. Asking the sales team, now we don't get any leads. I don't know how many times I've heard that. And that's basically a discrepancy in the one truth. There isn't one truth, because the marketing team, they have their metrics and they have their systems, and the sales team have theirs, and they don't overlap. Then we start to have a problem. This can easily be fixed. And I think the CRM is a good place to do that. What would you say, Thomas?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think this is the thing with Monday is that you get one source of truth for the whole company, no matter where you work. So it will be inter department, cross department, and also proper business intelligence, and not only team intelligence.
Exactly. It's company-wide all of a sudden. Which probably makes it more accurate as well. And we can actually leverage data towards between each other. Then when we have discussed this with ourselves, and preferably maybe with a colleague or two, we get into the question, what should my CRM contain? I've listed just a few points here, and those are the bare bones structure of a CRM as I say it. It should be a registry of contacts and companies. Should probably help us keep track of our tasks or activities, depending on what we call them. Of course, our opportunities or deals. Hello, Freya. Maybe even our emails, so we know what we've sent to whom, and so that we can have that overlap. Say, for example, I go on vacation, I need to hand over to someone, maybe Thomas, but everything is hijacked in my inbox, which he can't reach. Then the CRM, once again, would be a good place to store those emails, so he can seamlessly have a go while I'm at the beach or wherever I am. And then, of course, like Thomas said, reporting or analytics of our data so we can turn that over. Then we have a few other things. We have those handovers we were talking about. Can our CRM system actually facilitate those and help us along, and preferably maybe even automate them, at least to some extent? And then, what are the rest of your needs? Only you know your organization at that level. You need to have a think. What kind of workflow do we have? What kind of information do we need to track? What kind of information do I want to track? It can be anything and everything. It can be lead sources, or it can be average on deal sizes, whatever we want. But we need to have a think about those, and then it's time maybe to have a go at building a system. Any thoughts here, Thomas?
Yeah, I want to stress that you also need to consider business to business, business to consumer. Do you have reoccurring clients? Do you have one-off clients? All of that will affect how you design your CRM, like any other one. So just to give you a framing, we have looked at a consultancy house or something where we actually have companies with several contact people. That's quite a common situation where we actually manage the opportunity the same way you would do in Salesforce. Sorry.
Yes. So for the coming example, yes, we are going to show you a sales board with lots of connections and stuff to it. But as Thomas said, maybe you're a subscription service that will need to operate on a completely different level. Then we need to actually set up a system for that, or any other kind of things. So with that said, any questions from anyone before we go forward? No, good. So there are a few requirements that we want to stress already now before you dive in and you want to have a go at building a CRM in Monday. Now I can see that most of you who is actually here are Monday users, so I think we can skip this one. But to say, for the features and functionalities we are going to show you, you're gonna need to be at least on a pro plan for this to work, because we are using formulas, we are using permission settings, and we are using quite a bit of things here. So
amount of boards per dashboard, widgets per dashboard. It's basically
not at least the automation count we are using. That's going to tick up, so you're probably going to run out of automations day one or two, depending on your how many clients you bring on.
We normally say that Monday starts at Pro.
Yeah, that's basically what I tell my clients is Monday becomes Monday at Pro.
Yeah,
and then it gets even
standard
better.
And basic is just discounted trial periods.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that quick taste. Yeah, Deb agrees, and for the rest of you who don't know Deb, she's also actually a partner to Monday, just like we are. So, with that said, you need a pro. But one really, really special thing with Monday that you don't get from any other CRMs is that within the same license fee you're already paying to build that CRM system, you can actually have your portfolio management office, you can have your HR system, you can have your ticketing system, and so much more, because it's all within the capabilities of Monday. And it's not an extra module you have to pay. It's an extra module you have to build. So it's all in the same licensing money. So there's no added extras for that one, at least not if you can manage to build it yourself. So with that said, I thought we would jump into the demo part of this. So let me switch my screens here and we'll have a go.
Well, Frederick switches. Feel free to write in chat if there's any specific challenge you have encouraged or hit when you try to build Monday as a CRM, and we might see if we can address it during this session. Otherwise, we'll definitely help you by following up afterwards. So if there's anything specific that you want to see or need, please drop that in the chat.
Building a CRM, we usually, from a standard version, we take a look at basically 3 boards when we look at it, and then I have a few extras, but we'll get into those. It's our registers. It's the company register, as we said, which we have as a completely own board. We have our contact register, and then we have an opportunities board. But in this case, we have also added a lead board because we don't want to bloat our system. So if we are a business that get many leads and handle many leads and we qualify them, this is usually a step we tend to add in as not to start bloating our lists and getting trash, basically.
And also, if you have a direct form, like a direct input into your CRM on your web page, like contact us or something like that, you always want the first, this is the cleaning room. This is where you make sure that it's not a spider. We don't want to get trash into our CRM, right?
Exactly. So we have structured it with new, i.e. incoming leads, and then assign leads. So we can have them. We can, of course, enter in manually the information, or as Thomas said, we can have it through a form. We actually have forms up here, which we have created. This is within the capabilities of Monday to basically transform your board into a form just by adding the form view. So here we actually have a form. And what we're actually going to do now, we're going to fill it out and see what happens. So I would hit preview, but I actually have it open. So I'm just going to change my screen into that tab. And there we go. So let's fill it out. We can use me as an example. So I'm the lead. So I enter my form, which I've gotten through the web page.
While Frederick does that, if you run a web page, you already have a form, you're running it on WordPress, you can use any WordPress plugin. A lot of them can be pushed directly to Monday. If not, Integromat is a really good way of connecting things. Either Integromat or Zapier can push it straight into Monday if you want to have a more embedded form, right?
So, and we can enter in the VAT number since we're from EU, EID if you're from the US, but I'm not gonna now, so I just hit submit. So, changing back to the correct screen again, and we'll see what happened. So I go back to the main board, and we can see I have been entered here. So, as we see, the information I set was entered, and we can actually see this is just a filtered view. In Monday we can use filtered view, so we can see all the information, and we can actually see that my phone number and my address and so on was entered in. And now, without me doing anything, we can also see I was connected here. Why was I? Thomas, do you know?
I do.
Would you like to share? Because this is something we're quite proud of.
Yes. So Frederick, with his email address, already exists in the contact registry we have in this account, and he also is linked to the company already. So we actually developed an auto-connecting app, which is being submitted to the App Store right now, which gives you the ability to look for, in this case, any value. But in this case, we set it up so the email, we actually look at that into the contact registry, and if we find it, we connect items together automatically. We can use it on new creation or on a status change or a change of a column value.
Exactly. So what I have actually built here is a trigger that when change is opted in here, it makes a check and see, do this person or this email address exist within my current registry? In this case, yes. So it connected me to this card. And it also checked, yeah, okay, does Frederick belong to any company? Yep, he does. And so it entered that as well. If it would be someone completely new, I could just create that contact or create the company, which either would be missing, because it also actually does its own check of saying, yeah, I don't have Frederick, for example. Now it had, but let's say it didn't. But I know of Omnitas, and then it will actually check the website and say, yeah, I'm going to enter that, and then you. So that's pre-filled. And what does these connections mean? Yeah, well, in Monday terms, it means that all the information about me, in this case, is available straight off. So I don't need to jump around between different areas of the system. I always have everything at my fingertips, which is, well, let's be frank about it. It's not like that in every other CRM system. So this is actually a feature I really love. I don't have to go clicking around. I have everything basically before my hands. Wouldn't you say that is a good feature, Thomas?
Definitely. It also becomes even stronger when you start looking at it from the other end, like from the company end, of course. But
yes,
definitely having access to all the information.
Yeah, so let's say we assign this to Gustav. He has to handle me as his leads. Of course, we use automations to trigger, so we don't have to push and pull things manually around. The system handles that for us. So of course, when a lead is assigned, the automations will trigger and put it in the right group as well. And then when we feel that we are done, we can actually qualify this lead to jump into the next stage.
Should we maybe add some update before we qualify it?
That we can do. Sorry. Me and my trackpads aren't friends at the moment.
Yeah.
We can add anything, and as you see here, we have full formatting rights within ours. We can make any kind of note we want, and just like within many systems of today, we can tag someone to notify them, or a whole team if we would like to basically say, hey guys, you need to check this one. Not gonna in this case. There, and we can actually now, when it's posted, we can see how many people have seen it. So if someone of my colleagues would go in, take a look at this, I would actually be able to see that right now. Now, I think I'm qualified to become a customer, so I qualified myself, or Gustav did. Then we move into the next section of the system, which is one of those basic parts of our system, the opportunities board. There's going to be quite a lot more information now going on. So here we go. When we take a look at it, we have structured this from a grouping perspective. Let me collapse everything. In the phases we have in our sales workflow. So from a new opportunity, we go into an offer, then we go to some sort of a negotiation phase, then a verbal or acceptance of what we agreed upon in the negotiating phase. Then we go into sign, which basically means the deal is closed. On the back end, we also have, we at times can lose deals, and we can also disqualify deals, because even if we let them through as a lead, we might, during a sales process, see that, yeah, but this isn't a good fit. And what we at Omnitas at least do is that we differ between when we say no to the client and when the client says no to us. So lost means the client said no to us. Something were misaligned, not the right service, not the right price, whatever. And the disqualified is when we say no to the client. And from a sales perspective, this is actually really important to track, because they aren't all lost. At some point, we have said, no, this isn't the deal for us. We can't deliver here. Here we can see I came in here, and as we can see, it kept the connection to the company where I'm employed. But now we have a few more columns and a few more pieces of information we can actually fill in here. So Thomas, you told me there will be some substantial improvements to some of the features we are going to take a look to. But this system is built on a combination of what we call the Community Hub, which is a great CRM tool, helps us to email and keep track of those, and basically bring in all the answered emails into Monday as well, between us and our clients. But we also use this register button, as we call it, where we can easily register what are we doing with the client. From this, we can draw statistics. How many meetings have we gone to? How many emails have we sent? How many calls have we made? And so on, so forth. And we can also make a timeline stick to the client rap sheet. So if I click to make a call, now, for some reason, my system is rather slow. It should never show anything. Now it triggered. And then we can see here, we have made an update. And here I can, of course, go in, make my notes.
And some of you in here know that we can do the same thing. We can register and plan out activities in Community Hub that we're going to be talking about. Why are we doing it like this? There's mainly two reasons. One is we actually got this from a client who needed their sales rep to be able to quickly, with a press of a button, being able to update what has been going on while on the cell phone. So this is a setup. If you're not desktop based from a sales perspective, you're managing your opportunities on the go, because the Community Hub is a really cool app, but it's still only available on desktop currently. Yes. This gives them a lot more granularity. They press the register. Once they get back to the office, they can go through all their activity log and they can update and write the memo. So they don't, as a reply to that update that was just created automatically, but they have the correct timestamps and everything.
Correct. Then, of course, we need to plan our next action. What should we do afterwards? Maybe, I should be emailing myself tomorrow, for example. And this is within the order of Monday. So, of course, the system will keep track of this and remind me to do so as well. So it will put it on my to-do list for tomorrow, basically. Then we have, when we're talking about sales, we are talking about products and services that needs to be sold. So we have added, in this case, sub-items as order rows. So we can enter in. So maybe we want to, we have been talking about having a workshop with me. Then through the magic of connected boards, I can actually choose my product from a list. And here I can have basically however many products I want. And of course, it's searchable as well. If I have many, I can choose that one, and it will fetch me my list prices, my margins, whatever I tell it to, and I have programmed it to do. So here I can tell it how many workshops. Yeah, this fellow, he's about to buy a package of 2 workshops, for example. Okay, it will calculate the price for me. And I can put my discounts and get all my information from it. Then it will backtrack everything up. If I have multiple rows of products, it will calculate everything for me. And then, of course, in the true fashion of a CRM, we need to calculate the forecast. So because all deals aren't created equally, because when we calculate on deals, we take into consideration how far in the discussions have we gotten. So what we do here is that we calculate. We can see the gross price of everything is $8,190 in this case, but we only forecast it at 1,000. Why do we do that? Well, that's because we have only just started discussing this deal with this person. So we can't count all the money. That we can only do basically when it's signed. So it's to get a fair pipeline assessment of where we are. Thomas, you love forecasting.
Yes, and this is like super simple forecasting. We have a status based on the sales step, and that applies a percentage. We can bring this so much further. We can go with the last updated column. If it's more than 2 weeks ago since an update, we can apply a 50% reduction of the forecast value. We could also say, do we have other deals against this company or this contact in the priorly? Then we can actually increase the percentage. So we can build any forecasting matrix we want with the more Monday native formula column.
So, and what we're talking about here is deal scoring, but on a high level of doing it. So bringing in the information, have that affect the forecast. So, for example, let's say that Frederick, in this case, would have made hundreds of deals with us before. We know he's a recurring client, always comes back. We could jump that and increase the forecast on him if we had made such a model. Then, of course, we have the profit forecast. And here we have the status of the deal. Now it's a new opportunity, it's newly created, but now, of course, when I have sent my offer to Frederick in this case, I, of course, tell the system I've done so, and it will automatically move Frederick along the line. And we can see now the forecast took quite a bit of a jump here, because now we have a different kind of calculation. Here we can also see we have the contact information here to Frederick, so we can see, yeah, that was connected and moved with. So I have everything here if I need to call him or whatever. And if you are either have a VoIP, basically a cloud phone, or a Macintosh connected to your iPhone, you can just click and call, which is rather neat. That is how many of us at Omnitas actually do it when we call our clients. I think you're a forerunner of that type of calling, right, Thomas?
Yeah, we're lucky enough that our actual cell phone carrier has a Apple soft phone service app, so I can click a number in Monday, and it actually calls from my cell phone through my computer.
That's great. And of course, I can email you by just pressing the email and so on and so forth. Thanks to email integration, we have also the ability to pick up emails, either incoming or outgoing, to this. And what we do here is basically Monday has the power to integrate with either Office 365 or, in our case, Gmail or the G Suite. And can actually read our inbox. So what we can basically tell the system is, if you see an incoming mail having the same email as you can find here, please add it in there. And in that way, we can fetch all emails coming in from a client. Then we can apply filters on it, of course, as well. So, but what we're talking about here is, so we basically have the opportunities board, we have a contact company register, and we have our contact register. But there are other things going on as well. So further down in the process, since this is a consultancy setup, of course, we can send this into our projects overview. So basically give our delivery team that heads up. Something is coming your way. Time to prepare for it. So we can either do it by an automation and say, when you reach a certain step, negotiation, like a heads up, or we can do it by sign. So we only basically send the information once it's actually in the books. That is completely up to us, or you in this case, to decide when should that happen. And then the information is transposed as well. So going into the project, this is very, very, very simple, because I haven't taken any time to set up a real proper project system here. But we can see we have a project that gets its name. We have the ability to task things, and they are all connected as well to our opportunities, so we can track them back. And by doing this differentiation, so we have our opportunities like an entity, we have our contacts like an entity, and we have our companies like an entity. We build a spider web of interconnectivity, so we can always track things back. So we can easily now track this project and say, yeah, that belongs to that client, or it came through that opportunity, or yeah, we were talking to these people. These are the deciding stakeholders in this deal that led to this project, and so on and so forth.
And let's be honest, this is a CRM webinar. So for the project management, for one, shouldn't be Frederick, and two, we need to live a cliffhanger, so we're not showing any advanced project management.
Exactly. So going on with this, now having all those entities mean that information can end up in different places. So some of us, we might make a note on the contact, some on the company, and then we have yet other information that will end up on the actual opportunity or the deal, as some of you, I'm sure, will call it. Thanks to our latest release, I think, right, Thomas?
Of what?
of an app.
Yes.
Called conversations. We can actually pull data from all linked items into one place, so we don't have to go hopping about to trying to find what happened. Let's see here. So in this case, I have no information in the connected items. I only have in this one that I had a meeting. But let's see.
Let's go to Omnitas in the company registry.
Or even better, maybe Phoenix. Oh, they're all named Phoenix, but they're actually different. But all of these are actually different, coming from different opportunities. Now we have named them the same, basically, but we fetch the data from wherever. And this would actually go if we had made any notes on the people connected to Phoenix Incorporated as well. So we get everything in one place without having to go hopping about to get that information, because that is something that might be a problem doing it natively, so that we can get that fragmented information spread. But now, thanks to conversations here, we can actually get everything in one place at one time, and that is a really good thing.
And a pro tip, if you're using it for other than CRM, make sure you have all your milestones, status changes, that generating updates. You set up that automation saying when the status changes to this, create an update and decide what it's going to be called, because then you can aggregate that through the whole project up to the project overview, so the project managers or the C-level can instantly see all the milestone passages by just looking in conversation. It picks up sub-items, dependencies, and all the connected boards, unlimited hierarchy.
Which is in itself just great. Then another thing we really like to have is a good sales funnel, right? We having just a list, yeah, that's great, but we want some more information just easily put up. How are we doing right now? And in an earlier webinar, we presented funnels, which is one of our apps, which does this for us. So we can easily get a sales funnel. So what this app does in this iteration, because now I'm using one of its functions, which is for sales, is to basically give us our funnel. So what it does, it says that if you have come to a succeeding step, you have been in the ones before it. So even if you add in a completely new deal that hasn't been on the books before in the accepted phase, it will still be counted as have been belonging to the offer and the negotiation phase and so on before. And this is quite cool, actually, because in real life, it actually has, even if it were for microseconds. But you don't have to go through the hassle of telling it was an offer and then move it again and move it again. You can just put it where it should be. The system will do the counting. And here we can actually use weight measures as well and actually gather the formula. So we can actually put in the real numbers here or use forecasted values if we'd like to. I really do love this app. It gives a quick, at a glance, quick, where are we and how are we set up to face the world, basically. If you haven't, there's a 14-day free. Seen it before. There's a 14-day free trial on the Monday Apps Marketplace. Go check it out and try it out for a spin. See how you like it. I'm sure you're gonna love it. A feature that you've seen in many other CRMs, I'm sure you are comparing to, is the Kanban style view. Of course, this is something we can recreate in Monday as well. If you don't like the list view of things, we can, of course, go with a more of a Kanban style. And here we can have the logo types of the companies that we are making an advance to. And we can through the settings, tell the system what kind of columns or information do I see directly on the card, and by clicking, I get the rest of the information just at my fingertips. I have all the same information I actually have in the list view. It's just ordered differently. Some like this view, some don't. Thomas, I know that you're not the biggest fan of working with this. You like the list view, right?
Yeah, and I think that personally I would show a few less information points on this. Like I would remove the status by, but I think the cool thing here is that we can actually, and we have for Integramat, and we're not going to give away that scenario. We're pulling those logos automatically, so nobody's uploading any logos here.
Correct. So basically, what company is it? Okay, pull their logo. So then there's one thing that I really love in Monday is our ways and means to set views. So we can have different views. Some of us feel that, yeah, I don't want to be scrolling about or looping around. So maybe I want a more slimmed view of things. So it's a shorter board. And then I like to go with a more traditional, I guess, CRM view, and going with our item cards and basically click my customer and or opportunity and have my information like this. Might be for
card view. That's my favorite features being released this year.
Yeah, I know it is your favorite feature, and I would say it's definitely at my top 3 as well. Definitely. With that said, looking at another view that we have been touching upon is the Community Hub, which we have here as well. This view lets us send emails, make notes, create events, so on and so forth. So if I would actually be sending an email here for Thomas, this will go out through my email, and it will get tracked back basically when I send it. So, or rather, when he replies to that email. I'm not going to ask Thomas to actually do that right now, but take my word for it, it works, and it works like a charm. And you have some settings you can go through here to basically import your email signature or your email brandings, and you can set up automations and notifications specifically for the Community Hub, so you don't miss emails when you get them either. But they're also going to end up in your completely normal inbox, whether that is Outlook or Gmail. And there are new things coming to this, but we're going to talk about that in just a bit. So to end off this demo, on Monday, we don't do reporting, we do dashboards. And dashboards that are so much better than any normal CRM reports. They are completely customizable. We can pull any and all data that we want to see. We can have them, or they are standard, completely dynamical. So if I would have a colleague doing work, changing stuff now, it would actually change before my eyes. So this is so much more. This is BI actually. So this is great. Thomas, you're actually like the virtuoso of dashboards. What's your favorite thing about dashboards?
That if you set them up correctly, you can actually filter everything and search everything. So do you want to look at like deals you closed out a certain month? You can set up, if you support your boards by special formulas, you can actually isolate the year and the month. So in the search field, you could fill out the year or the month, and the whole dashboard will filter on everything for that month only, and so on. So it's actually the combination of the whole dashboard with the underlying data, and not some individual widgets. That's my love.
Yeah. And of course, this one, we can use dashboards to basically get everything on a client as well, right?
Yeah, with the item card view, we did it a lot more before we got the item card view, because the item card view now, all we do is we go into the company registry and we open up the company
and then you get everything.
and we get everything. It's a traditional company card from any other CRM system. We used to, of course, to build it in a dashboard earlier.
Yes, but with that said, thanks to how the dashboards are built and how we can use them, we can also build in gamification scenarios within Monday, which, yet again, it's not an added thing. It's something we can build with the bog standard features that we have. So we can have competitions, we can award prizes, we can do stuff like that and things thanks to that data. So that's really, really cool. And yeah, here we can see we actually have a small sales contest. Can be a bit more creative than what I've been here, but it's definitely a possibility within Monday. So, and of course, like we said, then of course we have our request inbox and so on. We're not going to look at it now, but let me tell you, there's so much you can do within Monday, and everything is connected thanks to that we have our entities that we connect everything to, so we can pull information between the different parts of the system we have built out for ourselves.
Yeah, we can basically, what we really want to stress is you can set up a CRM in Monday in a lot of different ways. There's a default solution as well included in Monday. You can install quite a few of them, but all of them, what they have in common is the use of Connect to Board, because that's what generates a CRM, not just a list of isolated touch points.
No, and it's also that ease of use. If you have created that company once, there's one place where all that company's values and the information live, and that is reusable just by the click of a button, and we don't get that having to do everything twice, or at worst case, getting the wrong data at some points and then basically mess up your reporting in the end as well.
Frederick, you have a good question from Candy.
How do you do when you have a duplicated contact? Well, then either you have an app for it. There are apps in the Monday store that will mark and even merge, or you set it up with Integromat to basically have a look through your contact register and basically fix that for you. Is that not something you can do yourself? We are obliged to help you do that.
And I would actually like to plug a friendly app. There's a new app called Data Clean. It's rather new. It's by one of the South American partners. It's free. We checked with them. It's actually being managed all within your account, so no data is being transferred out of Monday and manipulated. So it's a good app. It's currently free. There are no current plans. I use the word current because that's the information I got from them to monetize it, because they wanted it as an enabler. The name of the app is called Data Clean. It's under the new tab in the App Store, App Marketplace, sorry. And very promising.
Yeah, I only had to read about it. Great that you, before this, had the time to check with them. So I actually just saw it today. So yeah, it's from the features list, it's probably amazing. So be sure to have a go at it. Otherwise, you also have Integromat, which is my usual fallback to basically do anything within Monday. So the apps that were used that you saw were the funnel app, the auto connector, which isn't out yet, but will be very, very soon. The conversations app by us at Omnitas as well, which is out, that you can install and have a trial at. And then there was some Integromat magic happening in the background as well.
And let's Have we decided on a date yet? Because I want to plug a future webinar. I'm actually going to sit down and have a webinar just showcasing my favorite, most commonly used apps when I build something for clients. And it's not going to be only Omnitas apps. It's actually going to be mostly other apps.
Yes. Yeah, there's going to be a load of apps coming up, and it's actually going to be next week we have planned that for. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to our newsletter. We will see to that you get that information, because I have seen the list, and it's a nice list of apps and how you can use them. So do that, and we'll be sure to see to that you get it. We will also, of course, post in the Monday community and on our LinkedIn page. So please follow us there, and you get the information and can quickly sign up. It's going to be a great webinar on that one.
Definitely.
Monday, of course, comes with a ton of possibilities to integrate everything from email marketing service to social media. Of course, our classic Office suite. So I'm talking both about actual Office, Microsoft Office, and the G Suite, with integrations to both emails and calendars and web drives, i.e. OneDrive or G Drive, stuff like that. But also systems like JotForm, Typeform to give us customizable forms and added features to our forms. Twilio for those of us who love to send text messages to our clients as well. There's tons of integrations, and whenever we can't have a native functionality, we can usually sort it by either the fantastic and open API of Monday, or rather simply by the use of Integromat. And if you want to know more about Integromat, please talk to us, and we will set you up and show you how that works, because it's a marvelous system in its own right. Right, Thomas?
Yeah, it allows us to do like stuff that used to cost a lot for very little money.
So we have a great example of that, don't we?
Yeah, so if I'm allowed to give like 1 minute of a scenario we built for a client, they had a rather simple sales process, not a problem. They had order items, and once they agreed with the client what exactly they were going to buy and what they were going to pay, they could change the status in Monday. The client was created in Stripe. A shopping cart was created in Stripe with a URL. Integromat grabbed the URL, put it into an email, sent them to them, and said, hey, here's your order. Please follow the link and pay. When they go follow the link and they pay, the status of the payment gets updated in Monday. So we have a two-way Stripe sync through Integromat. And once the status got upgraded, we actually used another cool app, which we will be talking about next webinar, DocuGen. And DocuGen generated this drop shipping form, and Integromat automatically sent it to the drop shipping company, which we don't need Integromat anymore for, because DocuGen can now email their generated PDFs as well. All of this took us 25 hours to set up for the client. If you were to pay for this for custom API work, you would have to pay for at least 80 hours of development. And that's counted very, very low for custom API work.
Yeah, I would say you're lowballing that one, but yeah. Yeah. So, but to say the least, we have tons of integrations. I've just posted just a few of them here, but you can integrate with basically any marketing automation system and anything like that. GetResponse, MailerLite, ActiveCampaign, you name it. It's totally feasible. Then there are some features coming up. Without to set any date to this, but these are things that will be showing up in not a too distant future. So there will be a better calendar integration, and it will also be the possibility to auto book meetings, I'm saying, but basically, you know, that where you can send a link and the person can basically choose the time they want to meet you, instead of you having to do the email ping pong dance, sending 5 emails back and forth just to figure out that you can't do it at any time. We will have even better views for contacts and leads and deals. So there's going to be some CRM magic happening. Community Hub is getting spruced up, and the item card view is promised to get a 2.0, which I know at least Thomas and me are really looking forward to, because it's something that's really good, going to be even better. So
yeah, I wish we could say more. We're not. This is all I'm allowed to say.
No, we're not allowed. But just keep a lookout, guys. It's going to be great. That's all we can say. So, in conclusion, when you are going to build your CRM, have a step back, have a think first, then start building, and use the board connectivity features to create entities, because that will make your life and your reporting and your everything so much easier. We have seen so many examples where you just put a company name in a text field and a contact in the text field together with an email or a phone number somewhere. It's gonna be a hassle for you, and you're gonna do multiple data entry.
With the tools available currently, building Monday as a CRM on your own is quite easy. You just need to keep to the principles of using connect to board, use your data collectors like company, contact person, and your biggest hurdle will be, how do I actually make this formula work the way I want it to work? That will be your biggest challenge.
Yeah, it's gonna. But thanks. Well, that's why us partners are here. We are able to help you with that, hopefully. And
but they can reach out if they need some CRM help, right?
Of course. If you feel that, yeah, I really want a good CRM, please don't hesitate. Give us a call. You're going to get my contact information just in a few minutes when we get to the end here. But that's the end of the summary. Thomas, you have been watching the chat. Have we covered most of the questions while we were going?
Yeah, definitely.
I think so too. So let's skip the Q&A for this time. And if you didn't dare to post your questions, feel free to email us afterwards, and we'll make sure you get a good answer to your question. So with that said, thank you so much for listening today. On the screen right now, you have my details. And if you need help to build your CRM system to your specific specifications, please give me an email, and I'll be sure that me or someone in the Omnitas team will help you do that. Can't say this enough, but last week we actually brought our new website online. There is loads of tips and tricks and webinars and Monday app reviews coming up. So be sure to go to omnitas.se. It's all in English, guys, so no need to worry for any funky language on the way here. Go to omnitas.se, sign up for our newsletter. You'll find it down in the footer, and we'll keep you up to date with everything new and cool Monday that's happening. With that said, thank you so much for coming, all of you. Thank you, Thomas, for popping in as a guest here today. I hope you have enjoyed this, and looking forward to talking to all of you and seeing more of you. And next week's webinar, the most commonly used apps, at least for us at Omnitas, and it's going to be a great one. So stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Have
Cheers,
a good
guys.
Bye.